that a sign of low testosterone is not just about muscle mass, but it's also about fat gain, like higher fat gain, but also, very unfortunately, that if you've got low testosterone, you seem to develop fat in womanly areas, specifically your hips, your lower stomach, and your chest. Doesn't really look like a chest for most guys. Most guys' chests look like breasts. And you know, we can laugh about this, oh yeah, man boobs and stuff, but like this, honestly, it gets horrible. So I grew up with a medical condition called gynecomastia. There's different, like, you know, people who say different things, but from my understanding, it was that through puberty, my hormone levels were so messed up, my testosterone was so low, my estrogen was so high, that I began to develop just massive like nipples, like this big nipple, instead of, you know, like everyone else has got quite like perky nipples and everything. My nipples were massive. I just genetically gained more fat in my chest. So even if I'm lean, like 12% body fat, I'll still have like a fat chest. I'll still have like puffy nipples and everything. Still to this day, like I'll show you now, I'm not really insecure of it anymore. It doesn't look terrible anymore now because I'm lean and I've trained and I've got like a nice chest and stuff. It literally looks like normal now, right? But that's after 8 years of bodybuilding, specifically with the mindset of, yeah, I've got to build a chest to like hide this I know, bro. A lot of guys have something slightly different, which is that they just have quite unideal fat deposits, which is that, you know, it's just like unfair places that you gain fat compared to everyone else. So it could be around your chest, around your boobs, it could be like a double chin, it could be face fat, it could be lower belly fat, butt fat and everything. But I think breast fat is one of the most aesthetically unpleasing things that a man can have. And I had this for a very long time. We can talk about it in a funny way, but genuinely, bro, I would insist on going to the doctors and literally like cry in front of them, not even like, you know, purposely, I would just genuinely cry. I'd wear like a vest underneath all of my shirts to try and press down my nipples, and I genuinely was so insecure. I used to have thoughts, you know, I was going through puberty, age 16, 17, 18, seeing my friends start to get laid and everything. I used to have thoughts, if a girl tried to like get sexual with me, I actually wouldn't let her because I was so embarrassed about what I looked like underneath my shirt. It was genuinely a very dark period of my life. I don't really have that anymore because, you know, I've done 8 years of, or whatever, however long of bodybuilding now. I think I look pretty good, and so I am fairly confident with my body. But for a very, very long time, it was horrible to have this. And from my understanding, it does come from low testosterone. Because think about how many guys are turning, you know, 15, having a terrible diet, testosterone and all their hormones have been messed up from all this stuff around us. You know, there's talks of BPA and plastics can mess up testosterone, but then that's been disproven in terms of like plastic bottles aren't that bad for you. But we know that BPA, this like weird product, this thing, we know that that is actually really bad for your hormones, and that no one's really talking about plastic bottles anymore. But now we understand that receipts, you know, when you buy something in the store and the cashier drills it in, gives you the receipt, we understand that those receipts have an absolute disgusting level of BPA. We're touching that on our fingers, touching it, maybe you're touching your afterwards, maybe you're putting the receipt, like I did this, bro, and this is maybe a coincidence, this is maybe a conspiracy theory, but I just want to know, right? I used to grab the receipt, put it in my wallet, and a lot of guys do this, right? A lot of guys put their receipt in their wallet, right? Put the wallet in my left pocket, and I'm pretty sure a lot of guys put their wallet in their left pocket, and then a varicocele started to develop. I literally had a medical condition where the veins on the left side of my ball started to like tangle and inflame, and suddenly I had like a big clump of veins that I needed to just recently have surgery to remove. It is a coincidence that it was on the left side, and that's where I kept the BPA receipts for literally a while, isn't it? Most men actually, if they do develop a varicocele, it's kind of common to have like this clump of veins in your nutsack. Most men develop it on the left side. And just my conspiracy theory is just like, I'm pretty sure most men put their phone on their right side and wallet with BPA loaded receipts on the left. And that's just like BPA, right? It's still like, you know, okay, that's some random one thing, okay, just don't touch the receipt. But then there's even more. When you look at the world around us, I don't think we can just leave it to like, you know, the real world stuff of like, yeah, you know, there's this chemical and this. When you look at the pressure of men being told to not really act like men anymore, when you see this channel here is being labeled as toxic masculinity, you know, we were just in the Times newspaper on an article written about Andrew Tate's the misery that men like him and us have caused. We have caused misery. This is what literally people from the real world think of us. We have caused misery. We are misogynists. They write about us as if we are totally evil. We're sat here almost in tears talking about gynecomastia and varicocele, and this is seen as toxic masculinity. They see pictures of my Instagram where there's like me and a kid and he's got like a bloodied up nose, or me and like a kid and we've just sparred each other, and they think that's toxic, that me and like a 15-year-old have just had a boxing match together. There is a war on masculinity, and therefore there is a war on testosterone.